Welcome back to Carrick United Analysis, the channel every true red trusts for honest and simple breakdowns of everything happening at Manchester United. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because this community exists for fans who want the real story, explained clearly, without confusion, and without unnecessary drama. Today we have something truly special to talk about. Sir Alex Ferguson himself has spoken, and this time the topic is the Champions League. When the most successful manager in this club's history speaks about Europe, every single fan needs to stop and listen. This is not just any voice. This is the man who won the biggest prize in football with this very club. Not once, but twice. So when he talks about belief, about the squad, and about lifting that famous trophy again, it means something. Let us break down every single word of his statement together, piece by piece, so you understand exactly what he said and why it matters so much for this season. Why Sir Alex Ferguson's words carry so much extra weight. Before we go through the statement itself, let us pause and think about why this particular voice matters so much. There are many pundits, many former players, and many experts who give their opinion on Manchester United. But Sir Alex Ferguson is different. He is not simply a voice from outside the club, he built the modern identity of this club. He created a culture of winning that fans still hold as the standard today. When a man with that kind of history speaks about the Champions League, he is not guessing. He understands exactly what it takes to win in Europe because he has done it. He knows the pressure of those nights, the tactics required to beat the very best teams on the continent, and the mentality needed inside a dressing room to go all the way. So when Ferguson gives his verdict on this current squad's chances in Europe, fans should take real notice. This is not empty praise. This is a genuine assessment from the man who understands winning better than almost anyone in the history of this sport. Setting the scene, Europe is never easy, Ferguson opened his statement with a simple truth that every football fan already knows deep down. He said, in Europe, there are no easy matches, and drawing a tough opponent is just part of the fabric of this competition. Let us think about this for a moment. The Champions League is not like a normal domestic league where you know most of the opponents well and can predict patterns based on years of familiarity. In Europe, you face different styles, different cultures of football, different levels of intensity, and often teams you have never even played before. Ferguson is reminding fans of something important here. Difficulty in Europe is not a bad sign. It is simply the nature of the competition. Every team that has ever lifted this trophy has had to survive tough nights, difficult opponents, and moments where things did not go according to plan. This sets the tone for his entire message. He is not pretending the road ahead will be simple. He is being honest that difficulty is guaranteed, but he is also setting up the point that follows immediately after. Manchester United belongs on this stage. Right after admitting how tough Europe can be, Ferguson made a bold and proud statement: Manchester United belongs on this stage, and these are exactly the kinds of European nights that this club thrives on. Read that line again. This club thrives on these nights. Think about the history behind those words. Manchester United has produced some of the most iconic European nights in football history. Famous comebacks, dramatic late goals, and unforgettable atmospheres inside a packed Old Trafford under the lights. Ferguson himself was on the touchline for many of those magical moments. By saying this club thrives on these nights, he is reminding fans and players alike that pressure is not something to fear at Manchester United. It is something the club has historically embraced and turned into inspiration. European nights are part of this club's identity, and Ferguson is telling everyone that this identity has not disappeared. Here is a question worth asking yourself. Do you believe the current squad has that same spirit that made those famous European nights so special? That belief, or lack of it, often shapes how fans experience every single European fixture. What Ferguson sees. When he looks at this squad next, Ferguson moved on to describe exactly what he sees when he studies this current group of players. He said, when I look at this squad, I see an incredible mix of elite talent, dynamic young players, and character. That is exactly what you need to go all the way in Europe. Let us break this down piece by piece, because every word here matters. Elite talent. This refers to top-level, world-class ability. Players capable of producing moments of magic that can decide matches at the highest level. Having elite talent in the squad means United possess players who can compete individually with anyone on the continent. Dynamic young players. This is an exciting phrase. Dynamic suggests energy, pace, unpredictability, and a hunger that only youth can bring. Young players often play without fear, take risks, and bring an unpredictable spark that experienced opponents sometimes struggle to prepare for. Character. This is perhaps the most important word of the three. Character means mental strength, the ability to respond after conceding a goal, the resilience to keep fighting when things are not going well. Talent alone does not win Champions League football. Character is often what separates the teams who go all the way from the teams who fall short. Ferguson combined all three qualities and said that mix is exactly what is required to succeed in Europe. Coming from a man who built multiple European winning squads himself, that is a very meaningful assessment. The requirements of European success. Ferguson then gave fans a mini lesson in what it actually takes to win the Champions League. He said, "The tournament requires resilience, depth, and a bit of luck. But this team has the tactical flexibility to match any heavyweight in Europe." Let us look closely at each requirement he mentioned. Resilience. European campaigns are long and demanding. There will be setbacks along the way, difficult results, moments of doubt. Resilience is the ability to absorb those setbacks and keep pushing forward without losing belief. Depth. A long European campaign, combined with a demanding domestic season, requires more than just a strong starting 11. It requires a squad deep enough to rotate players, manage fatigue, and cope with injuries or suspensions without a major drop in quality. A bit of luck. Even Ferguson, with all his experience and success, admits that luck plays a role in football. A deflected goal, a refereeing decision, an injury to a key opponent at the wrong moment for them. Luck does not guarantee success, but it often plays a part in deciding which team lifts the trophy at the end of a long campaign. Then comes the important part, tactical flexibility to match any heavyweight in Europe. This is a huge compliment. Heavyweight teams in Europe are usually the biggest and most successful clubs on the continent, teams with deep pockets, world-class squads, and long European pedigree. Ferguson is saying this United squad has the tactical tools needed to compete with exactly those kinds of opponents. Tactical flexibility means the team is not one-dimensional. It means the manager and players can adjust their approach depending on the opponent, switching formations, changing style of play, and adapting during matches when needed. In modern football, especially in Europe, tactical flexibility is often the difference between success and elimination. The big statement, an outstanding chance to lift the trophy. Now we arrive at the heart of Ferguson's message, the line that will get every single United fan excited. He said, "I firmly believe Manchester United has an outstanding chance to lift the Champions League trophy this season." Let us think carefully about the language used here. He did not say United might do well in Europe. He did not say there is a small hope. He said, "I firmly believe." That phrase, firmly believe, is a strong and confident statement, not a casual guess. He then used the word outstanding to describe the chance itself. Outstanding means exceptional, standing above the ordinary. This is not a modest prediction. This is Sir Alex Ferguson telling fans directly that he sees a genuine, strong opportunity for this club to become champions of Europe once again. Think about what it means for the most successful manager in this club's history to say something like this publicly. Ferguson does not throw around empty praise. His entire career was built on setting high standards and only celebrating genuine quality. If he sees an outstanding chance here, it is worth United fans paying very close attention. Here is a question for you. When you hear a legendary figure like Ferguson express this level of belief, does it change how you personally view the club's chances this season? Many fans will say yes, and that emotional lift matters heading into a long European campaign. The standard is high, but belief and pressure matter. Ferguson did not simply hand out praise without balance. He immediately followed his bold prediction with an honest reminder, the standard is incredibly high, but if the players believe in themselves and embrace the pressure of playing for this badge, they can go the distance. This is an important addition to his statement. He is acknowledging reality. The level of competition in the Champions League is extremely high. Every team remaining in the competition is talented, well-organized, and hungry for success. Winning this trophy is never guaranteed for any club, no matter how big their history. But then he gives the key ingredient required for success, belief, and embracing pressure. Let us think about both of these separately. Belief means the players trust their own ability and trust each other, even in difficult moments. Teams that lack belief often crumble the moment things get difficult. Teams full of belief find ways to fight back, to score late goals, to defend under pressure without panicking. Embracing pressure of playing for this badge is a phrase worth sitting with for a moment. Playing for Manchester United comes with enormous expectation. Every match is watched by millions of fans around the world. Every European night carries history and tradition behind it. Ferguson is saying that instead of fearing that pressure, players need to embrace it, to see it as fuel rather than a burden. This is exactly the mentality Ferguson demanded from his own players during his time at the club. He built teams who thrived under pressure rather than crumbling beneath it. By repeating this message now, he is reminding the current generation of players what has always been required to succeed at the very top for this club. The journey starts now. Ferguson closed his statement with real excitement. The journey starts now, and I am incredibly excited to see them prove themselves against the very best. This final line carries a sense of anticipation. A European campaign is often described as a journey because it unfolds over many months with different stages, different opponents, and different tests along the way. By calling it a journey, Ferguson reminds fans that success in Europe is not decided in one single match, it is built step by step, night by night. He also said he is incredibly excited to see the players prove themselves against the very best. Notice the phrase prove themselves. This suggests an opportunity, a chance for this current group of players to show the footballing world exactly what they are capable of on the biggest stage in club football. For fans, this final line should spark genuine excitement. When a man with Ferguson's history and success expresses real enthusiasm about watching this team compete in Europe, it adds extra meaning to every upcoming European fixture. Why this statement matters so much for the club. Right now, let us bring everything together and think about why this statement matters at this particular moment. Manchester United fans have experienced ups and downs in recent seasons, and belief among supporters can sometimes waver during difficult stretches. A statement like this, coming from Sir Alex Ferguson himself, provides a powerful boost of confidence and hope. Ferguson is not simply offering encouragement, he is offering an informed assessment based on decades of experience at the very top of European football. When he says the squad has elite talent, dynamic young players, and character, he is identifying real strengths within the current group. When he says the team has tactical flexibility to match any heavyweight in Europe, he is giving a genuine tactical judgment, not just empty motivational words. And when he says he firmly believes United have an outstanding chance to lift the trophy, he is placing his own reputation and judgment behind that belief. What this means heading into the competition. So what should fans actually take away from all of this? First, difficulty in Europe should be expected, not feared. Ferguson reminded us that tough opponents are simply part of the competition, and Manchester United has a history of thriving in exactly these conditions. Second, this squad has the raw ingredients required for European success, elite talent, energetic young players, and strong character, according to someone who has actually built European winning teams before. Third, tactical flexibility matters just as much as individual quality, and Ferguson believes this team has the tools to adapt against any of the biggest clubs on the continent. Fourth, belief and mentality will be crucial. The margins in European football are often extremely small, and the teams who embrace pressure rather than fear it are usually the ones who go furthest. Fifth, and most exciting of all, Ferguson has given a genuine and confident prediction that this club has an outstanding chance to lift the Champions League trophy this season. A question worth sitting with here is something worth thinking about before we move toward the end of this breakdown. When you consider everything Ferguson said, the talent, the character, the tactical flexibility, and his own belief in an outstanding chance, does it change how you personally feel about this season's European campaign? Do you feel more hopeful heading into those big European nights ahead? There is no single right answer here. Every fan carries their own hopes, doubts, and memories from past European campaigns. But conversations like this one are exactly why this community exists, to talk through big topics like this together, honestly and thoughtfully. Why a trusted source matters more than ever. In today's football world, news and opinions travel fast, sometimes too fast. Statements get shared without context, quotes get twisted, and excitement can quickly turn into confusion if information is not explained properly. This is exactly why having a reliable source to break things down clearly matters so much. That is the entire mission behind Carrick United Analysis. We are not here to create hype for the sake of clicks. We are here to take important statements, like the one Ferguson gave today, and explain them properly, calmly, and honestly, so every fan understands exactly what is being said and why it matters. If that sounds like the kind of football content you want in your life, then you have found the right place. Bringing everything together, let us do one final recap of everything Sir Alex Ferguson said in this powerful Champions League statement. He reminded fans that Europe never offers easy matches, and difficult draws are simply part of the competition. He proudly declared that Manchester United belongs on the European stage and that these are exactly the nights this club thrives on. He praised the current squad for its mix of elite talent, dynamic young players, and character, calling it exactly what is needed to succeed in Europe. He acknowledged the demands of the competition, resilience, depth, and a bit of luck, while praising the team's tactical flexibility to match any heavyweight opponent. He firmly stated his belief that Manchester United has an outstanding chance to lift the Champions League trophy this season. He reminded everyone that the standard is extremely high, but self-belief and embracing pressure can carry this team the distance. And finally, he expressed genuine excitement about watching this journey unfold, starting now, against the very best teams in Europe. Final thoughts. This was not a small or casual comment from Sir Alex Ferguson. This was a genuine, informed, and confident assessment from the most successful manager in this club's history. He acknowledged the difficulty ahead honestly, but backed it up with real belief in the qualities of this current squad. For fans, hearing this level of confidence from a legend like Ferguson should bring real excitement heading into the Champions League campaign. History, character, talent, and tactical flexibility, combined with genuine belief, are exactly the ingredients this club has used before to lift the biggest trophy in European football. Thank you so much for reading and being part of this breakdown. If this gave you extra belief and excitement heading into Europe this season, share it with a fellow United fan who needs that same boost of hope. And if you want more honest, simple, and trusted breakdowns of everything happening at Manchester United, make sure you are subscribed to Carrick United Analysis, because this is where the real story always comes first. Until next time, keep the faith, embrace the pressure, and let us go again together. Glory, glory, Man United.